Mexico with baby oil. Baby oil, baby oil, baby oil, baby oil. Here I come. Baby oil, baby.
Hey everyone, who's got those snakes on this plane? Honestly, I wish YouTube wasn't so strict about censoring swear words. It really takes the fun out of Samuel L. Jackson's iconic line, you know? Anyway, what's up? Remember how Steve Harvey used to joke about baby oil all the time on his show? Well, now we find out Diddy had thousands of bottles of it at home. There have even been rumors about the two of them being linked. I mean, Steve did have a habit of asking guests if they wanted a mustache ride. Maybe Diddy had a VIP pass for that one.
Snoop Doggy Dogg, the dog father. What's up, dog? Get it, dog?
Oh, my name is Sid, and I kind of consider myself an entertainer.
Shut Okay, Snoop, I'll see you backstage or something.
You know, I know all about this East Coast, West Coast rivalry thing here, but we in Chicago now. Now, whether y'all like it or not, y'all role models, and your music affect a lot of people. If either one of you wants to use Steve Hightower's music and sample it,
Yo, Steve, check this, man. All that East Coast, West Coast stuff is a bunch of media hype. It's been my dog from day one, you know what I'm saying? It's all good between me and him. That's my people.
we may That's what I'm talking about. Two of you come to my class and drop a little bit of this knowledge on my students for me. All right, cool.
Yeah, so like me and my man Stu was saying, y'all, there ain't no East Coast, West Coast beef.
And yeah, we here to make a difference, you know what I'm saying? So we want y'all to stay in school and keep y'all heads in y'all books.
Alright, so Snoop Dogg and Diddy once appeared on Asterisk, the Steve Harvey Show Asterisk, to address the tensions between Bad Boy and Death Row Records. But here's something interesting. These are the same two who united after Biggie's death. Coincidence? Or is there more to the story?
Name something you like Steve Harvey do to your bottle.
Oil it. You know what I'm talking about,
Baby oil. You know what I'm saying? Oil it up. Sometimes I come in there with baby oil under each arm. I don't even know how you do that. just baby oil all down my arm. Oil it.
Your favorite.
Yeah.
Now a leaked video shows Steve Harvey and Diddy clashing at one of Diddy's parties. And honestly, it's like watching a little dolphin trying to escape a mustached whale. You know that Pokemon with a mustache? Was it a seal? I'm not too sure about Pokemon anymore. Anyway, Steve just deleted a 2017 tweet where he praised Diddy, probably to cover his own back. But at this point, it's way too late for him to play it cool.
Goats up. OD.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear St. Paul. Happy birthday to you.
Next generation of black excellence want to celebrate what we call culture.
Steve Harvey being okay with Lori having any connection to Diddy, especially knowing how shady he is, really says a lot about him. On top of that, her openly flirting with Jay-Z at his Rock Nation brunch only adds more questions. Just how deep does this situation go? My guess, it runs pretty deep.
Alright, look, this is the state of Hollywood's little girls, man.
Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the Diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it, and managed him, and got custody of him, and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the Diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
Sure.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there. Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there.
Was this the only underage kid who was openly trafficked to Diddy? Of course not.
In the book, Porter allegedly recounts discovering and making copies of the sex tapes that Diddy made of himself having sex with young boys that he was managing, including an alleged tape involving an 18-year-old pop star who went on to become a household name. Porter alleges that when she discovered those videotapes of Sean and his sexual encounters in the bedroom in his vault, she made copies of them as protection for herself. Realized that this is a very dangerous situation. I'm going to make copies for protection for myself, and included it as a part of her plan to leave him. But the memoir says that when she watched back the tapes, she was so shocked because there were things, quote, some of the tapes had things I would have never expected. The gay parties are one thing, but the young boys, like the two hip-hop stars formerly managed by Diddy and the then 18-year-old pop star, I would have never known.
Kim Porter discovered some tapes, and that's why she was silenced permanently. In other words, she was straight up eliminated.
The internal pain after being sexually assaulted has been incredibly deep and hard to put into words. It goes beyond just physical harm caused by and during the assault. It's a pain that reaches into your very core of who you are and leaving emotional scars that may never fully heal.
Okay. He had like a mansion party and we went, but while we were there, I was sitting here and then Puff and then Meek, but I was like covered with like a stand or something. Like, probably says like "Happy Birthday, Meek" or something like that. But it's like a little stain that like was covering me because there was like a lot of cameras and stuff there. So it was like me, Puff, and Meek. Puff had like leaned forward to like talk to somebody, say hi or whatever. And so I turned over to Meek and I said, "Happy birthday." He put his hand out and he was like, "Thank you." So I reached his hand and shook it. And as I shook Meek's hand, he turned around and saw it and he got so mad.
Wow.
And then we probably like stayed like 20 minutes after that happened. And then when we got in the car, he like grabbed my hair. We were in the one of those Escalade trucks. Okay. So I was sitting on this side, he was on the other side, and he like grabbed my hair and like cussed me out for doing that. He was like, "Why the fuck can I cuss?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Why the fuck you shaking his hand for like just saying stuff like that?" I was like
a jealous rage.
Yeah, I was like, I was just saying happy birthday, nothing else. I think he thought I was trying to be sneaky behind his back, because I like reached over when he like leaned forward to talk to somebody else. So he thought I was trying to be sneaky.
And you were how old at this time?
I was 22, probably.
Wow. Okay.
And then he did this. So King Los was sitting in the back.
Okay.
And then when we got to the hotel, it got even worse. And he took one of my heels and tried to throw it at me, and then he like mushed my face and like really hard and made my nose bleed.
Wow.
And the only person that ever.
And now even more women are coming forward to share their stories, finally unafraid of Diddy's retaliation because his downfall is imminent.
I never thought that I would make this video, but it's time. They finally got Diddy. They finally got him. But the thing is, there's so many more men out there, just like Diddy, who are abusers, who use their fame to lure women in and abuse them. And I wanted to come on here to say that it is time to out every single abuser in the industry. Every single one. They all need to be held accountable. And the thing is, I would be a hypocrite if I came on here and I was telling other women that they need to speak up if I'm unwilling to speak up. I was raped at Chris Brown's house by his friend, Sage the Gemini. Yes, I know, I should have never been at Chris Brown's house in the first place. This happened when I was 18 years old. I'm 26 now, as of today. And I should have never been there. But Sage the Gemini raped me at his house. Chris Brown raped my friend when she was underage. She was under the influence and she was 16 years old. These were on 2 different occasions. But the thing is, all these men, all these abusers, they hang out together. Chris Brown and Sage the Gemini are rapists. Why have I been afraid to come out all this time? You want to know? It's because right after Sage raped me, he had me sign a paper saying that everything that happened was consensual. And he was my Uber drive. He got me the Uber to Chris Brown's house. And I didn't have any money. And I needed him to get me the ride back. And like, I didn't know if he was gonna, I didn't know what was gonna happen. If I, in that moment, I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I don't really know how to talk about this. I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that Chris Brown and Sage the Gemini are rapists. And I think that we all of us.
Now the hashtag Diddy is Over Party is inspiring more young women to come forward with their stories about some of the most notorious figures in the music industry. This feels like an entire movement, almost like hashtag MeToo on steroids. Honestly, it should be called hashtag Diddy Did It.
Wants to be vindicated. She wants her day in court. She wants to see accountability and justice after so many years of what she endured at the hands of Sean Combs. If the prosecutors are able to prove their claims, I think he should be in prison for the rest of his life. And I think he will be.
A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York.
I think my client and many others were just terrified of this man. Dawn Richard is a musician. All she wants to do is make music. Has critically acclaimed albums. She's about to go on tour. That's what she wants to do. The last thing she wanted to do was to bring a federal lawsuit against Sean Combs. But ultimately, she got to a breaking point, and she wanted to stand with the other women, and she wanted to tell her story, and it was time for her to seek justice. What shocked us the most is that the federal indictment is so strikingly similar to the complaint that we filed first a week ago. We alleged many of the same things, including forced labor, restriction of our clients' movements, false imprisonment, sexual abuse, sex trafficking, and not just against Sean Combs, but against a large number of other defendants who we claim were complicit, were enablers.
Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity.
The racketeering charge is very important, and I'm so glad to see it in the federal indictment today, because what that is this is not just about Sean Combs. It's about Sean plus all of the enablers who conspired with him, the government says, to cover up his physical and sexual abuse of women for so many years. I have no idea what they are planning to do, but I would say this to everyone who is associated with Diddy. Now is the time to come forward, to acknowledge your part in this if you had a part in this, to apologize, and to do what you can to help the victims. The time for attacking the victims, for insulting the women, that's over. Justice is coming for Sean Combs and for everybody who was complicit with him in his enterprise.
The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
While it's very exciting to see this arrest and indictment, that is only the beginning. The government has to prove its case. Sean Combs remains a very wealthy and powerful man. He can afford the best attorneys to fight for him. And I would strongly encourage anybody out there who may have been a witness, may have been a victim, who has evidence, to please come forward. Contact an attorney like me, contact the FBI. Please come forward with what you have, because this will be an uphill battle against Sean Combs. A lot of people have reached out to Dawn and to my law firm to offer words of support and encouragement. Dawn has over 1 million Instagram followers. Many of her followers have been very loving and supportive. We really appreciate that, because of course there's also haters and people who have to write nasty things in comments. So it really means a lot to see the show of support. We have not been in contact with Cassie. I assume that the settlement that she reached probably includes an NDA, so she's probably not free to talk. But I will tell you that Dawn was very much inspired by Cassie Ventura's bravery in filing her complaint last fall. And that really set in motion the entire series of events that led not only to our complaint filed last week, but the federal indictment that we've seen today. Cassie Ventura is a heroine. She was extremely brave. She was the first one to come out and talk about these shocking allegations of physical and sexual abuse. Sean Combs' team essentially called her a liar when she filed that complaint. And then that brutal video of her beating came out, and they had to backtrack and issue kind of a pseudo apology, which is really just Sean Combs feeling sorry for himself.
I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
If you are randomly, wantonly assaulting women, abusing women, threatening women, if you have AR-15s with the serial numbers covered up, if you are threatening people, if you are ruining lives, you should be in prison for the rest of your life.
Another young woman, Dawn Richard, is making headlines with her accusations against Diddy.